Hello students, welcome back to Madhvi's Java programming tutorials. In this video, I'll teach you data types. Let's see the contents. Introduction, classification of data types, primitive data types, non-primitive data types, and Java programs. Let's start with introduction. Computer requires specific instructions to do any task. It can't guess how much memory to be allocated for a particular variable. For example, if I tell my sister that boy's age is only 17, she understands, registers. And I tell her, okay, go to that address and give this to her. She understands. I don't have to tell age 17 means it is a number. You should understand that. And address means it is a string. Please understand, I don't have to tell. But computer requires this kind of information. So in programming languages, there is an option to tell the memory requirement for a particular memory location. And it is done with the help of data types. Data type decides the type of data to be stored in a variable. There are two things over here. Number of bytes to be allocated for each data type and range allowed for each data type. Number of bytes and range. See these four statements. In these statements, the very first word like string, int, char, double, these are the data types. Classification of data types. There are two types of data types. First one is primitive. Second one is non-primitive. Primitive are also known as fundamental data types. Non-primitive are also known as user-defined data types. And these primitive or fundamental data types are given by the Java language developers to the programmers. And non-primitive are user-defined. User-defined means programmer-defined. User in this sense that Java language users are known as programmers. So non-primitive are user-defined means we the programmers define new data types with the help of existing data types. What are existing? Primitive data types. Now under primitive data types there are total 8 data types. Byte, short, int, long are known as integers. Float, double are known as floating point numbers as they allow decimals. Boolean, either true or false, it will allow the range. Character, one character per 2 bytes allowed. So total 8, byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean and char. Non-primitive are 3 are there. Class, array, interface. New data types which programmers create. Now primitive data types. Storage for the data type is in terms of bytes. And each byte is a collection of 8 bits. Each byte is a collection of 8 bits. And each bit is capable of storing either 0 or 1. And you know 8 primitive data types: byte, short, int, long, float, double, char and boolean. And the information about all these 8 data types are known to the compiler, is known to the compiler, already given to the compiler. What is the information? First is number of bytes to be allocated when a variable is declared, range of values for each data type. When any variable is declared, then the memory is allocated to the variable depending on the data type. Variable declaration is like this: int age. Int is the data type, age is the variable. Then string address, string is the data type, address is the variable. If a variable is a member variable, then default values are stored in the variable according to the data type. We will see little later on. Look at the list. Byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean. 1 byte, 2 bytes, 4 bytes, 8 bytes. Float 4 bytes, double 8 bytes, char 2 bytes, boolean 1 byte. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits, so 1 into 8 is 8, 2 into 8 is 16, and so on and so forth. The range for byte and short is minus 128 to 127 and 32,000 plus something. If we have a smaller number, we can declare them as byte and short. But the main problem is, if there is any calculation to be done on these data types, they need to be converted to integer. So, no calculations and a smaller number, then you may go for byte and short. Otherwise, programmers conveniently use int and long data types. The minimum value for integer is so big, and maximum also. Long, very big. Float with decimals, 10 raised to the power of 38. Double with decimal, 10 raised to the power of 308. Characters 0 to 65,535. Boolean either false or true. Now coming on to default values, all integers, that is first 4, default value is 0. Float, we need to really understand 0.0f. I'll teach you in programs. Double 0.0d or just 0.0, anything is okay. Char, null. Slash, backslash 0 is nothing but null. And boolean, either true or false. Now let's go back. Non-primitive data types. There are 3 non-primitive data types: class, interface, and arrays. These are created with the help of primitive data types by the programmers. They can be either built-in or user-defined. Built-in means the Java programming itself has created some classes, interface, arrays for easier construction of Java programs. And user-defined means the programmer defined data types. So built-in, user-defined. And user-defined data types are created with the help of primitive data types, which we know. Any class created by the programmer is nothing but a user-defined data type. And string class is an example of built-in non-primitive data type. It comes along with Java language. See, I have created small examples over here to make you understand, but each one we will understand later on. Look at the class demo, which has 2 variables as a part of it. New data type, first part is integer, second part is double. When we create an object, so far we have created so many objects using GUI way. There is one CUI way also, but this D1 object has 2 parts. First one is roll number, 4 bytes because of integer. Second one is marks, which is of double type, so 8 bytes. So new data type has 2 parts. Non-primitive data type, user-defined. Second one is array. Array is a collection of variables which are known as elements. See the example int marks square brackets. If we just write int marks, then it is a simple variable. But marks square brackets, that means collection. How many? It is said 5. That means 5 integers together given marks name. Each integer is a collection of 4 bytes. Such 4 bytes into 5 multiplied by 5, total 20 bytes are reserved for marks variable. This is also user defined. And interface we should know as of now it is used in multiple inheritance, and all variables are public static final, and all methods are abstract methods. Let's see some programs. The very first program is read side of a square and display area of the square. Before writing any program, we need to give instructions to the computer in a specific way. So we should be very systematic. Read a side. So input is side. Input is side. We need to decide what is input, what is the type of the input, and what will be the output, and in between any calculation. So what is the type? It could be integer or float number also, but let's take integer. And output display what? Area of the square, and the formula is given, we don't have to worry about it. Now for this program, square input is side and integer area to be displayed. Input as a parameter int side, and I may calculate and store the value in a variable. For example, side into side is stored in variable area or a. Now I have to print using system.out.println. Here I can print a message area of square, something like that. I'm just giving like this. But as a programmer, you are supposed to give proper messages. And here we print the value of the variable. As of now, this is blueprint. But when we start executing, then only the value of side will come. That side into side stored in A, and that A would be printed along with this message. So Control K, execute by creating an object. It is asking side in a small dialog box. Side is 2, let's suppose. 2 into 2 is 4. Area is 4. This is the output. For the second one, what could be the input? Length and breadth. Read length and breadth. So we have LB. And we need to display area. Now length, what is the data type? Let's say it is int. And breadth, let's say long, because there is no problem in taking long and int. Only the thing is, in float, I want to explain something else. Now here also I need to display area. So output is area and the formula is here. Let's go back. We need int length, and we have decided long breadth. Here, instead of storing in a variable, we can directly print the value. How? Area of rectangle is something like that, we write, plus L into B into sign hasn't come. L into B star sign. This is bod mass. In maths, you must be knowing brackets and off and things like that. So first of all, whatever is there in brackets will be executed. L into B. If user gives some value here, that values will be multiplied and then displays the output area is. So control K and then execute rectangle, creating an object and executing the function display. It is asking two values. One is integer, second one is long. I am giving 2 and 3. Anything we can give. So 2 3s are 6. Area of rectangle is 6. Okay. Coming on to the third program. Read name and marks. So 2 inputs. Name, marks. Name is more than one character, so string data type. And marks, we may have decimals. So we'll take float. Later on, I'll convert this to double and let you know what is the difference between float and double. And what is the output? The same things. Whatever is there in name and marks should be displayed. Okay. Name and marks. So string is a class. All classes start with a capital letter. That is the convention. String name and float marks. And we just have to display both of them. System.out.println name, this is the message, plus n, and system.out.println marks, and then plus m. Okay, and let's compile this program, and then name marks program, creating an object, string. If I give some name ABC, it gives an error. If I give marks some 98.4, gives an error. Let's see. It says first of all ABC not found. Because it is a string, it should be in double quotes. It should be in double quotes. Still there is an error. Why? Because possible loss of conversion. This is a float variable, should be F or capital F. Then only it accepts. So, okay. Name is APC. Marks 98.4. Had it been double here, double doesn't give any error. When executing the program, I can just give 98.5 without any problems, because either D can be there or without anything also it can accept. String though definitely you have to give in double quotes, and marks some 98.5 accepts. So double, no problems. And then last program in this list, read name and grade. Grade can be A, B, one character. So name and grade, two variables, and name type is string and grade is character, one character. And output is just display both of them. Okay. So let's go back and take string data type name and char data type grade, and we need to just print both of them. What is it? First one is name and then plus sign. What is the variable? N. Again another thing, grade plus what is the variable? G. Okay. Control K. Here also we need to understand one thing. Name and grade I try to execute. String I need to give definitely in double quotes. Okay. But character also single quotes we need to give. We need to give in single quotes. If I don't give, it gives an error. So single quotes for character. F should be added for float numbers and double quotes for strings. With this, we have understood int data type, how to accept long, string, float and double also I have explained, and char. Now we'll see Boolean. Let's suppose Boolean is a data type and pass is a variable, and I said true. See that color? And what is the range of values for Boolean? Only either true or false. Okay. Past result plus pass is the variable. What is there in the variable? True. The other value which is acceptable for Boolean is false. Control K, close, and new, creating an object, calling the functions. String should be in double quotes and character should be in single quotes. Okay, past is true. It is getting whatever is there in the pass variable. With this, we have understood the fundamental data types and how to accept them. Refer chapter 3 of Basics in Computer Applications for further understanding. And the next video is about the Java tokens, that too variables and final variables. Thank you.